everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today I am announcing my 2025 reading challenge. The past few years, I have been doing a reading challenge here that lasts all year long, and the past couple years I've been doing my Read Around the World-athon, which has been great, but I really just wanted to change, and I have been wanting to do a readathon that is based off of this for so long, and I was just like, it's just time to do it. Because it's my favorite book, one of my absolute favorite movies. So all year of 2025, we're going to be doing the Princess Bride-athon. And yes, it is based on The Princess Bride by William Goldman. And I am just so excited to share this with you. This has been in the works for a little while, but I've had this idea probably since I started BookTube. I'm like, I want to do a Princess and the Bride readathon, and why not make it all year long? I mean, it's going to be fun. I have more than 12 prompts because I actually have a bingo board for you guys, so that way you can share it on Instagram, on Facebook, you put it in your reading journal, wherever you want, and obviously tag me or use the hashtag Princess Bride-athon 2025, so that way I can see all of your posts, because I want to see your books you're reading and the fun you're having, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. I did so much thinking in the process of this. I was like, I need to make this fun. I need to do some really fun reading prompts to go along with characters and lines in the movie and the book. And I was just like, this is going to be great. So I'm excited, and I hope you are too. So I do have a bingo board, as I said. I'll put the little graphic here. It will be down below in the description box, so you can check that out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to have a separate video in December during Bookmas that is going to be book recommendations, so stay tuned for that. And I'm also wearing kind of my most flowiest shirt here to kind of match the feel of the Princess Bride, but I'm so excited. And you saw my Princess Bride collection. I'll even link that video down below if you want to watch me share all those copies of my favorite book. So I have the printout here so I can see, because it's been a hot minute since I've looked at the prompts, because once I made it, I was like, okay, that's done, and I can relax and calm down. But now we can get excited again because I'm announcing it today. I'm so excited. All right, so I have 16 prompts. Take your time. As I said, this is an all-year reading challenge. You can finish it in 1 month if you want. You can do it over and over again. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. It's your challenge. So it's just going to be a good time. All right, so if you honestly don't know what The Princess Bride is, watch the movie. I should have honestly put that as a prompt. Like, either read or watch the movie. Read the book, watch the movie. That's an extra bonus prompt, okay? If you read or watch the movie, that's an extra bonus point for you. But this is all in fun. So I would highly recommend if you haven't. But even if you haven't, you can still join in the challenge. You just might not get some of the puns that are in here. So it's helpful if you know a little bit of the backstory. So I have a ton. So here we go. The first prompt is Princess Buttercup, which is the main character, red on the cover, because one of her main dresses that she wears in the movie is red. So red on the cover. I would honestly say at least 50% of the cover should be red, because I don't know. I just feel like, there should be a good amount of red. At least this much. That has quite a bit of red on it. But a red cover is super easy. I mean, most of these prompts are going to be pretty easy. All right, the next prompt is This One Left Them All Behind, which is talking about the kissing scene. So this kiss left them all behind. So for that one, a 5-star prediction, because what's better than a 5-star book? So, even if it doesn't end up being a 5-star book, just if you think it's going to be, it'll count. Then the next prompt is Wesley, which is our main love interest. I love him so much. Wesley is an adventure story, because he's literally the quintessential adventure hero, and what better than to have an adventure story with him. So really excited to have that along the way. Just a fun adventure story. Honestly, I just thought of another prompt that could have gone along with him too, but an adventure story would work for him. Next prompt is As You Wish, which is literally the most famous line in book and movie, is As You Wish. And for that one, reader's choice, because I mean, come on. I'm granting your wish, and you can read whatever you want. So As You Wish. The next prompt is Farm Boy. And for Farm Boy, well, that that had a strange accent to it. For farm boy, read a borrowed book because, you know, being a farm boy, wow, I cannot say those words. Being a farm boy, you are poor. So borrow a book, borrow an ebook or audiobook from the library, Kindle Unlimited, although you do pay for the service. So I would say no to that. So definitely a free way of getting your book. So ebook, library book, audiobook from the library, go to your library, get a physical book, borrow from a friend, some way that you can get a book for free. And then the next one is the Fire Swamp, and that's one of the locations in the book and movie. That one is a hot new release. So pick a book that has been, it's either not out yet, so if you have NetGalley or an early e-arc, then feel free to read one that's not even out yet. I would say a hot new release would be in the past 6 months. So anytime between whenever you start the book or whenever you pick up that book. It has to be 6 months before or 6 months after. Anytime in that, I'm giving you a full year basically to find a hot new release. So, or a popular new release. Hopefully you can get your hands on one. Then the next one is MLT, which in the movie, it's mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. And for that one is a second chance romance. And I think I had something else for that. I'm not exactly sure. Hold on one second. Oh, okay, that's it. I couldn't add in all the words, but MLT in the movie means mutton, lettuce, and tomato. But for a second chance romance, it means meeting love twice. Isn't that cute? I was like, I had to do some type of wording to go along with the MLT, but make it into a book prompt. So meeting love twice. So it's a second chance romance. I just thought that was adorable. And I'm like, yes, that is perfect. So I love that one. Next one is Fezzik. And if you don't know Fezzik, he's this big, lovable giant. And he does a lot of rhymes and poetry throughout the movie. So for him, read a book of poetry. Now, I don't normally read poetry. I mean, I've read Emily Dickinson, which is one of my favorite poets. So just read a book of poetry. It could be very short. If you just read one poem, I'm okay with that. So just read a poem, read a book of poetry, whatever option you want, but just read poetry. And honestly, I would probably pick like a children's poetry book because some of those are hilarious. They're some of my favorites. So I might end up rereading one of those. Next prompt is Vizzini, and he's the villain of the story. So read a book with a villain's point of view, and that can be multiple points of view. So like it's like the protagonist and then the antagonist has his own point of view, or it could be an entire book just with the villain's point of view. So I just want you to read the villain's point of view. That one's, going to be interesting. Then the next prompt is, I'm not a witch, I'm your wife. It's one of my favorite lines from the movie. But for this one, mistaken identity. And I just thought it was cute to go along with that. And you have to see the movie to understand that line because she's not a witch, but it's just hilarious. So mistaken identity, because she says, I'm not a witch, I'm your wife. So just read a secret identity book. It could be secret royalty, some royalty who's in hiding and doesn't want to know he's a prince or a princess. Secret identity could be, well, most of the time it usually does have to do with royalty. Then this is probably my favorite. That is ROUS. Now, in the movie, that stands for Rodents of Unusual Size. And for this one, I did the words readings of unusual size. So it still went along with that, with those words. And for that one, it's a book over 500 pages. So read a little bit of a bigger book. So I didn't make it super big for you all because I don't read super big books. So I wasn't going to make you read like ginormous books, but it's a little bit out of our comfort zones if you only read books like me between, 250 and 420 or so. So readings of unusual size. Pick a book that's over 500 pages. Then the next prompt is, anybody want a peanut? That's another line from the movie. And so for that one is a buddy read. So that could be on my channel because I do hopefully plan on doing more buddy reads next year besides the readathon. So stay tuned. I'm thinking about that. It can be with a friend, it can be with a Facebook group, it can be with someone through Instagram, it can be with me. If you want to buddy read a book with me, I am always down for that. As long as I'm not having a busy month, I am totally down for a buddy read. Next prompt is Country of Gilder, and that's one of the countries in the kingdom. And for that one, it's just read a book within a fictional place. So that's a fantasy, usually sci-fi or a dystopian. So anything along those lines, fairy tale retelling, but anything that is just set in a fictional place. Then the next prompt is Iocane Powder. And if you don't know, Iocane Powder is odorless and tasteless. So for this one, read an ebook or listen to an audiobook, because those are odorless and, yes, tasteless if you want to taste a book. And I mean, that's your option, but not my option. But obviously, books do have a certain scent to them, physical books. So read an ebook or an audiobook, because those don't have a scent or taste. All right, and then the next prompt is Dread Pirate Roberts. And for this one, read a book with pirates in it. It could be historical fiction, it could be fantasy, it could be mystery thriller. I'm sure there's some out there with pirates in them, but just read a book with a pirate in it. So I really wanted pirates. I need more pirates in my life. So that was basically why I brought up that prompt. Then the last one is Inigo Montoya. And my dad said, aren't you going to use his, famous line, "You killed my father, prepare to die"? And I'm like, no, well, number one, that's a huge long line that won't really fit in the little box of the bingo board. So what I did was I put finish a series. So whether you're on the last book or you want to start and finish a series, either way is fine, but just complete that last book in the series. So I did that kind of because at the end of the movie, his journey is finished and he feels like he accomplished what he did. So I want you to feel accomplished and finish a book. So yeah, that'll be good. So that is the last prompt that I have for you all. So those are 16 fun prompts. I am hopefully going to remind you about this readathon every month during my bookish TBR games, because obviously I want to remember too, so I can remember to pick books for these prompts as well. I'll probably do like maybe 2 a month or something, just to kind of stay in it, because normally with reading challenges, I kind of want to get them like all done earlier on in the year. That's just usually me. But with my own reading challenge, I just kind of want to relax and enjoy it all year long with you guys. So it's going to be a fun time. I'm really excited. And I was going to say sometime next year, I might give away a copy of The Princess Bride. Either book or movie, your choice. So if you're interested in that, I will also do that. Not sponsored by YouTube or anything. So I'm really excited about this readathon. Let me know if you're excited. As I said, you do not have to read or watch The Princess Bride, but I highly suggest you do, because they are fun. And yes, they are a little bit cheesy, I admit, but I mean, they were made in like the late 70s, early 80s, so it's going to be a little bit cheesy, but it's a lot of fun. And I hope you join in and have fun with me. As I said, there will be a recommendation video coming out in December. I think it's like the second week of December, I think, based on my planner and stuff. But I hope you all have a wonderful day. As I said, the graphics are down there in the description box. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next video.